নমস্কার, শুভ সন্ধ্যা। আমি আহিলি। নৃত্য টেলসের তরফ থেকে সবাইকে জানাচ্ছি নববর্ষের শুভেচ্ছা। নতুন বছর উপলক্ষে আমাদের পয়লা বৈঠাকে আপনাদের সবাইকে সাদর আমন্ত্রণ। পয়লা বৈশাখের উপলক্ষে বাড়িতে ঘরোয়া জমায়েতি আড্ডা যাতে আমাদের মিস না হয়ে যায়, তাই আমাদের এই আয়োজন আজকে। এই প্রথমবার আমরা প্রি রেকর্ডেড ভিডিওস আপনাদের সামনে না এনে আমরা লাইভ চলে এসেছি আপনাদের কাছে। ভীষণ এক্সাইটেড লাইভ আসতে পেরে। এটা আমাদের প্রথম নৃত্য টেলসের তরফ থেকে প্রথমবার লাইভ আসা। আশা করি আপনাদের এই বৈঠকটি ভালো লাগবে। আমরা একটা বৈঠকি আড্ডা, গানে গল্পে মিলেমিশে একটা সন্ধ্যা আয়োজন করেছি। সবচেয়ে ভালো লাগছে যে আমরা আমাদের চেনা জানার গণ্ডির মধ্যে আমাদের কাছের দিদিরা যারা এখন বড় বড় প্রতিষ্ঠিত নৃত্য সঙ্গীত শিল্পী, তাদেরকে কাছে পেয়েছি। তাদের মূল্যবান সময় থেকে তারা রাজি হয়েছেন আমাদের সাথে একটু নিজেদের কিছু মুহূর্ত শেয়ার করে নিতে। তো চলুন কথা আর না বাড়িয়ে গানে গল্পে আড্ডায় শুরু করা যাক আমাদের পয়লা বৈঠক। আজকে বৈঠক শুরু করছি ঋতশ্রী দিকে দিয়ে। ঋতশ্রী ভট্টাচার্য আমাদের খুব কাছের অঙ্কিদি। তার ব্যাপারে একটু আগে বলিনি, আপনারা অনেকেই চেনেন তাকে প্রতিষ্ঠিত রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীত শিল্পী হিসেবে। কিছু কথা উনার ব্যাপারে আপনাদের সাথে শেয়ার করছি। Ritasree Bhattacharjee belongs to the traditional authentic gharana or parampara of Rabindrasangeet Singers who strive to bring out the delicate nuances of Tagore's musical compositions. She had a formal training in Rabindrasangeet from Gitobitan, Kolkata. She obtained her Gito Bharati Upadhi in Rabindrasangeet. Since then, she has been taking advanced lessons in Rabindrasangeet from eminent artist Sri Ashish Bhattacharjee, renowned master and mentor of Rabindrasangeet for more than a decade. She is a regular performer at Tagore festivals organized by Government of India, Ministry of Culture, as well as many private organizations. She has also been a designated artist of All India Radio Kolkata. She is a full-time worker at a government organization. Ritasree, চলে এসো।
শুভ নববর্ষ সবাইকে, নৃত্য টিমের নৃত্য টেলসের মেম্বারদের খুব ভালো লাগছে এখানে এসে। এবং সবচেয়ে বড় কথা, সবাই সারা পৃথিবীর বিভিন্ন টাইম জোন থেকে আমরা সবাই যে একসাথে হতে পেরেছি এই প্যান্ডেমিকের সময়, ভীষণ ভালো লাগছে। আর নৃত্য টেলসের প্রোগ্রাম রেগুলারলি দেখি আমি। মানে তোমাদের ডেডিকেশন, কমিটমেন্ট এবং পার্সোনাল এবং প্রফেশনাল টাচ মানে মানে অতুলনীয়, কিছু বলার নেই। ভীষণ ভালো।
বাহ বাহ, দারুণ। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ এভাবে আমাদেরকে অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট উৎসাহ করার জন্য। কেমন আছো ঋতশ্রী?
ঠিক আছি, ভালো আছি। মানে এই আর কি, এত
বাহ,
নিয়ম কানুনের মধ্যে কোনদিন থেকে আমরা অভ্যস্ত নই, তো
সেই
একটু
সেই
অসুবিধা হচ্ছে,
সেটাই।
কিন্তু ওই আর কি, মানে ফর গ্রেটার গুড উই হ্যাভ টু লিড আ লাইফস্টাইল লাইক দিস।
ডেফিনেটলি ডেফিনেটলি। তা শোনো না, বলছি যে একটা গান দিয়ে শুরু করি আমাদের গল্পের।
হ্যাঁ,
চলো একটা গান দিয়ে শুরু
ঠিক
করা
আছে।
যাক।
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ। আমি যেহেতু একটা খুব আনন্দানুষ্ঠান এটা পয়লা বৈশাখ, এবং বিশেষ করে মেনশন করবো যে পয়লা বৈঠক নামটা আমার খুব ক্যাচি লেগেছে, ভীষণ ভালো। মানে as far as I know, this is the first live session of Nritya Tales, perhaps. তাই
এক্স্যাক্টলি,
তো,
দিস
লাইভ
লাইভ
সেশন
ফার্স্ট লাইভ সেশন। আমরা
বললে
এর আগে
মানে
সবসময়
পয়লা।
প্রি রেকর্ডেড ভিডিওস
হ্যাঁ,
করেছি। হ্যাঁ,
কেন? আর পয়লা বৈশাখের মধ্যে অদ্ভুত মিক্সচার, পয়লা বৈশাখের পয়লা আর পয়লা বৈঠকের বৈঠক মিলিয়ে পয়লা
ঠিক
বৈঠক
ঠিক।
নামটা খুব 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 মানে অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট করানো। সেই
থ্যাংক ইউ সো
অনুষ্ঠান
মাচ।
উপলক্ষে আমি একটা আনন্দের গানই গাইছি, বেঁচেছি।
একদম নিশ্চয়ই, চলো।
জগৎ জোড়ে উদার সুরে আনন্দ গান বাজে, জগৎ জোড়ে উদার সুরে আনন্দ গান বাজে, সেরা বাজিবে মাঝে, জগৎ জোড়ে উদার সুরে আনন্দ গান বাজে, বাতাস জানো আকাশ আলো সবারে ভাবে বাসিব ভালো, বাতাস জানো আকাশ আলো সবারে গোলাবে বাসে গোপালো সভা জুড়িয়া তারা বসিবে নানা সাজিয়ে হৃদয় জুড়িয়া তারা বসিবে নানা সাজিয়ে জগৎ জুড়ে উদার সুরে আনন্দ গান বাজে রঙে মিলিলে হবে পরানো হবে খুশি যে পথ দিয়ে চলিয়া যাওয়া সবারে যাব খুশি নয়ন দুটি লেগেলে কবে পরানো হবে খুশি যে পথ দিয়ে চলিয়া যাব সবারে যাব খুশি রয়েছ তুমি এই কথা কবে জীবন মাঝে সহজ পাবে রয়েছ তুমি এই কথা কবে জীবন মাঝে সহজ পাবে আপনি তোমারে না শুনবে সব আজে আপনি তোমারে না শুনবে সব আজে জগৎ জুড়ে উদার সুরে আনন্দ গান বাজে সে গান গাবে বুকের বাজিবে মাঝে জগৎ জুড়ে উদার সুরে আনন্দ গান বাজে
বাহ, সত্যি জগৎ জুড়ে উদার সুরে আনন্দ গান বাজে। এই আনন্দ গান বেজে যাক আমাদের সারা বছর
একদম
ধরে।
একদম
আমরা চেষ্টা করি ভালো থাকি, আমরা সবাই ভালো কাটুক। আম, জানি না মানে আগের বছর থেকেই কিরকম অন্যরকম হয়ে আছে সবকিছু। তো তোমার গান
সেই
শুনতে শুনতে
সেই
না এটাই মনে হচ্ছিল যে পয়লা বৈশাখ গুলোতে আমরা তো বাড়িতেও যেরকম গল্প করতাম, আড্ডা মারতাম, আমরা প্রোগ্রাম শুনতে যেতাম। তো মানে তুমি খুব মিস করছো তো স্টেজটা নিশ্চয়ই?
ভীষণ ভীষণ মিস করছি, 1 বছরের উপর হয়ে গেল। মানে স্টেজ তো বটেই, সামনাসামনি দেখা সাক্ষাৎ নেই, পয়লা বৈশাখে একসাথে বসে গল্প আড্ডা নেই, কিছুই
ঠিক
নেই
ঠিক
না।
ঠিক।
মানে সপ্তাহে মানে এনি সেকেন্ড পয়লা বৈশাখ, গত পয়লা বৈশাখে তো ফার্স্ট উইক চলছিল আমাদের না, একইভাবে
ঠিক ঠিক
মোটামুটি
ঠিক।
গৃহবন্দী কাটিয়েছে, আর
প্রথম
এখনো সেই
বছর
একই
পয়লা
অবস্থা।
বৈশাখ, হ্যাঁ প্রথম বছর পয়লা বৈশাখটা আরেকটু ভয়াবহ ছিল, মানে আমরা ঠিক বুঝতে
হুম,
পারছিলাম না কিরম হতে চলেছে,
হ্যাঁ,
আরো আমরা
হুম,
রেস্ট্রিকশনস এর মধ্যে ছিলাম।
হ্যাঁ,
এখন
হ্যাঁ।
অনেকটা অন্যরকম। তোমার এবছর পয়লা বৈশাখ কিরম ছিল, মানে কিরকম করে কাটিয়েছো?
এই বছর পয়লা বৈশাখ তো মানে আমার আহ বাড়ির আত্মীয় স্বজনদের সঙ্গেই কাটিয়েছি, বন্ধুদের সাথেও কাটিয়েছি, মানে যতটা মানে একদমই
হুম
মানে
হুম।
বাড়ি টু বাড়ি আর কি, বাইরে তো কোথাও যাইনি। মানে আমি মানে
সেটাই।
আমার শ্বশুর বাড়ি বাপের বাড়ি এই করেই কাটালাম, কোথাও আর বাইরে যাওয়ার ব্যাপার নেই। পয়লা বৈশাখে কেনাকাটাও করিনি, সত্যি কথা সবাই এত সতর্ক
হ্যাঁ
করছে, এবং সতর্ক
সত্যি।
না হলে তো উপায় নেই, যার কোনো
না
বিকল্প
সত্যি
নেই,
সত্যি,
সুতরাং
এটা কোনো বিকল্প নেই।
একদম কাছের মানুষদের সাথেই যেটুকু সময় কাটানো যায়।
সেটাই ভালো লাগে
আর
যে আমরা যারা
ভিডিও কল।
হ্যাঁ ওটাই, মানে আমরা যারা নাচ গান করতে পারি সেটা নিয়ে
হ্যাঁ,
ওই
হ্যাঁ,
ওটাকেই সঙ্গী করে থাকা আর কি। এই ভিডিও
হ্যাঁ,
কল
হ্যাঁ,
বলতে আমার মানে মাথায় এলো যে এই ধরো এখন যখন মানে আমরা এখন এই ডিজিটাল মিডিয়ার সাথে এখন অ্যাকাস্টমড হয়ে গেছি, যেটা আগে পয়লা বৈশাখে আমরা অনেকেই বুঝতে পারছিলাম না, লাইভ
হ্যাঁ।
শো, মানে এগুলোর সাথে আমরা অ্যাকাস্টমড ছিলাম না। এখন তো
হুম,
এরকম হয়ে গেছে। আমার কোথাও জানি মনে হয় যে আগে বৈঠক হতো ঠিকই, আগে আমরা বাড়িতে সবার সাথে যাতায়াত ছিল ঠিকই, কিন্তু ডিজিটাল হয়ে এরকমও হয়েছে যে আজকে তুমি যেখানে আছো, আমি যেখানে আছি, আমরা সবাই চারিদিকে ছড়িয়ে ছিটিয়ে আছি,
হুম,
কোথাও একটা কানেকশনটা কোথাও একটা হয়ে গেছে ডিজিটালি।
হুম। হ্যাঁ, হয়ে
তো
গেছে একদম।
আহ,
ভাগ্যিস।
এর মধ্যে এরকম বলো তো, মানে তোমাকে যখন ধরো তোমাকে ডিফারেন্ট টাইম জোনে কাউকে কেটার মানে অডিয়েন্সকে কেটার করতে হবে, তখন যখন একটা গান বাজতে হয়, তখন কি ভাবো, মানে কিরকম ভাবে তুমি একটা চিন্তা ভাবনা করো গান বাছার ব্যাপারে?
দেখো, আমি মোটামুটি একটু মেনটেন করার চেষ্টা করি যে দিনের বেলায় যদি হয় গানের সময় তাহলে সকালের রাগ বাঁচার চেষ্টা করি, সন্ধ্যাবেলা হলে সন্ধ্যার রাগ। হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু
হ্যাঁ,
কোনো
কিন্তু
এরকম ডিফারেন্ট টাইম জোন
ডিফারেন্ট টাইম
যদি
জোন,
হয়
হ্যাঁ।
তাহলে আমি যেটা করি, হয়তো সন্ধ্যাবেলায় কোনো দিনের বেলার সুরের গান গাইছি রাগের, আমি সেটা মেনশন হয়তো করে নিই, যেটা কিন্তু সকাল বেলার সুর, তাতে কি মানে সেটা
আচ্ছা।
মানে জাস্টিস করা হয় গানটার প্রতি। যদিও এটাও
হ্যাঁ,
ঠিক যে গান
নিশ্চয়ই।
গাওয়ার কোনো সময় নেই, কোনো কিছু নেই, যখন ইচ্ছে যা ইচ্ছে
হুম
গান।
হুম,
আমি গ্রীষ্মকালেও বর্ষার গান গাইতে পারি যদি আমার ইচ্ছে হয়। কিন্তু ওই আর
নিশ্চয়ই।
কি, গানটাকে যদি আমি মানে টেকনিক্যালি দেখতে যাই, একেবারে ধরো সকালবেলার কোনো রাগ, ললিত গাইছি আমি সন্ধ্যা 6টার সময়, তাহলে
হুম
হয়তো
হুম
আমি বলে নেবো যে গানটা কিন্তু সকালের রাগের, কিন্তু আমি
হুম
যেহেতু
হুম,
ডিফারেন্ট টাইম জোনকে কেটার করছি, আমি ললিতের গানটি মানে সন্ধ্যাবেলা গাইছি, বা পুরো বিভাগে
হ্যাঁ,
সকালে গাই। এটা আমার
সত্যি।
মনে হয়, আমি অন্তত সেভাবে দেখি আর কি।
হুম হুম। না, আমার
এই
খুব
আর কি।
মানে এই 1 বছর এই একটা ডিজিটাল জার্নিও তো হয়েছে আমাদের সকলের, মানে আমরা নৃত্য টেলসের তরফ থেকেও যখন কাজ করে গেছি, তোমাদের মানে তোমরা যারা শিল্পী, যারা মানে অডিটোরিয়ামকে এত মিস করছো, এই এত দিন ধরে
হুম,
যে ডিজিটাল মিডিয়াতে আমরা উই আর ওয়ার্কিং,
হুম,
এইটাই একটা অ্যাডভান্টেজ বলতে এটাই শুধু যে আমরা খুব কানেক্টেড হতে পারছি অনেকের সাথে,
connection,
বিভিন্ন বিভিন্ন জায়গায়
একদম,
কানেকশনটা বাড়ছে। তাতে ধরো
একদম।
হয়তো আজকে যার গান আমি শুনতে পেতাম না বা শোনার জন্য হয়তো তার বাড়ি যেতে হতো, সেটা আমরা
হুম।
অনেক কাছাকাছি ভাবে শুনতে পাচ্ছি এখন এই
প্রায়
মিডিয়াতে।
বাড়িতে বসেই হ্যাঁ শুনতে পাচ্ছি, সেটা ঠিক। সেটা ঠিক।
আচ্ছা,
সেটা
শোনো।
আলাদা একটা চার্ম আমার। যদিও আমার
হ্যাঁ
মনে হয়
হ্যাঁ,
মঞ্চে বসে গাওয়া এবং অডিয়েন্সে বসে শোনা, সেটার চার্মটা একদমই আলাদা। সেটার কোনো
লাইভ
বিকল্প হয় না,
লাইভের, হ্যাঁ
তাই
সত্যি
না?
সত্যি।
হ্যাঁ।
এই লাইভ
কিন্তু
আর ওই
তবু
লাইভের
এটা
অনেক,
মন্দের ভালো।
হ্যাঁ সেটাই সেটাই। এই
একদম,
লাইভ
যেহেতু
আর ওই
উপায় নেই।
লাইভের আলাদা একটা চার্ম সত্যি আছে।
হ্যাঁ,
আহ,
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ।
আচ্ছা শোনো, আমি তোমার বায়ো যখন পড়ছিলাম, বা আমরা সকলেই জানি যে তুমি মানে তোমার বাবা তোমার গুরু, এই
হুম,
জিনিসটা আমার একবার ইচ্ছা হলো তোমার সাথে যখন গল্প করব এটা একবার জিজ্ঞেস করবো যে এই যে বাবাকে গুরু হয়ে পাওয়া আর বাবা বাবা, তো এই ডিফারেন্ট রোলস মানে কিভাবে তোমার কাছে সেটা কি রকম, মানে তালিম নিচ্ছে আমি আমার বাবার কাছে, আর আমি বাবার কাছে, বাবা অ্যাজ এ ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল সম্পর্ক হিসেবে বাবা, তো এই জিনিসটা নিয়ে তুমি যদি কিছু বলো আমাদেরকে।
দেখো, আমি তো কানে গান নিয়েই জন্মেছি, জন্ম থেকেই মানে একদম মানে বাবা যখন ক্লাস নিত সেই শুনে শুনে বড় হওয়া, ছোটবেলায় ক্লাসে গিয়ে বসতাম। হ্যাঁ, তানপুরা হয়তো টুকটাক বাজাবার চেষ্টা করতাম, কিন্তু সেখানে মানে আমি আমার কাছে আহ বাবা এবং শিক্ষক খুব একটা আলাদা নয়, সত্যি কথা বলতে। আমি শিক্ষক হিসেবে যখন বাবাকে দেখি, বাবা কোথাও একটা লুকিয়ে থাকে শিক্ষকের মধ্যে, আমি খুব একটা ডিফারেন্সিয়েট করি না। তাতে হয়তো আমার সুবিধেই হয় কোনো
হুম
মানে সেই অর্থে আমার যে ভয় বা মানে কুণ্ঠা বোধ হয় সেটা না, কারণ তখনই মনে হয় ইনি তো আমার বাবা, আমি কেন ভয়
হুম
পাবো। ভয় পেলে যেটা হয়, আমার যদি কোনো জিজ্ঞাসা থাকে কোনো সুর
হুম
নিয়ে, ভয় পেয়ে জিজ্ঞেস না করে তো আমি আমি নিজেই ঠক, সেটা আমি
হুম,
ফ্রিলি মানে বাবা হিসেবেই, মানে বাবা শিক্ষক আমার কাছে কোনো ডিফারেন্স, কোনো ডিফারেন্স।
বাহ। তো তুমি সব সময় শিখে গেছো শিখে গেছো, আর শেখার তো মানে সত্যি কোনো শেষ হয় না, সেটা তো ঠিকই কথা।
শেখার কোনো
কিন্তু
শেষ নেই,
তোমার
সেটা কোনো।
তোমার ছোট থেকেই রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীতের প্রতি একটা ইচ্ছা, ইনক্লিনেশন টুয়ার্ডস লার্নিং, এই
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ,
মানে এটা নিজে থেকেই তৈরি না
হ্যাঁ।
বাড়িতে ঘরানা ছিল সেটার একটা
নিজে
ইনফ্লুয়েন্স?
থেকেই না, নিজে থেকেই তৈরি, প্লাস বাড়ির আবহাওয়া, পরিবেশ, পরিমণ্ডল, গান আমি সব রকমই শুনি, কিন্তু
হুম
বেছেছি
হুম
নিজের মানে করার জন্য রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীতটাই আমি বেছেছি। এবং আমি তো ব্রাহ্ম সমাজে আমি গান টান গাই, সেখানে তো মূলত রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীত এবং ব্রহ্মসঙ্গীত এরকমই
হুম
হয়, মানে
হুম
একটু ধ্রুপদ কামারের মতো গান, বা মানে মেনলি
হুম হুম,
বাড়িতে আমার রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীতের পরিমণ্ডল। আমি নিজে আমার যত বয়স বাড়ছে রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীতটাকে ভীষণ ভাবে আমি আঁকড়ে ধরছি আর কি, কথার মানে
সত্যি।
বুঝতে পারছি আরো বেশি,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ,
মনে হয় ভীষণ অবলম্বন ওটা।
এই
ভীষণ
একটা
ভাবে।
জিনিস আমরা এই যে তুমি এটা বলে, এটা খুব সত্যি কথা যে ছোট থেকে আমরা এটাও শুনে খুব বড় হয়ে যে রবি ঠাকুরের গান একটা একভাবে মানে মানে নববর্ষ বা আমাদের বাঙালি কোনো অনুষ্ঠান হোক, কোথাও না কোথাও
হুম,
রবি ঠাকুরের গান চলেই আসে, আমরা যেভাবে মানে সবকিছুর মধ্যে।
একদম,
তো আমরা এক একটা গান এক একটা বয়সে এক এক রকম ভাবে উপলব্ধি
একদম।
করি। তো সেইটা তুমি ভীষণ মানে নিশ্চয়ই সেটা
ভীষণ
অ্যাগ্রি
এবং
করো
শুধু
মানে।
অনুষ্ঠানটা, তুমি দেখো মনের যে কোনো ভাব, মানে রাগ, দুঃখ, অভিমান, মন খারাপ, সবকিছুর জন্যই রবীন্দ্রনাথ ঠাকুরের গান কিন্তু আছে। যদি মানে গীতবিতানটাকে যদি ভালো করে পড়ো, তাহলে দেখবে
হুম হুম।
ঠিক কোথাও না কোথাও নিজের সঙ্গে নিজের মনের ভাবের সাথে আইডেন্টিফাই করতে পারবে কোনো না কোনো
হ্যাঁ,
গান। এটা
সব
আমার মনে
উত্তর
হয়।
যেন পেয়ে যাওয়া যায়। হ্যাঁ, সত্যি।
হ্যাঁ, একদম। গানগুলোকে পড়তে হবে, শুধু শোনা না, গানটাকে পড়তে হবে, বুঝতে হবে,
পড়তে হবে।
তারপর তো গাও,
খুব
মানে
ভালো
বোঝা।
বললে, এটা মানে সত্যি খুব ইম্পর্ট্যান্ট একটা কথা।
অনেকে আমরা না
তো
বুঝে, গানের কথা না বুঝে পড়ি, তো ওই যে নানা রকম হয়তো বিকৃতি হয়ে যায়। গানটা ভালো করে
হুম
পড়ে
হুম
নিয়ে মানে বুঝে অন্তঃকরণ করে নিলে আমার মনে হয় গানটা গাইতে আরো সুবিধে হয়।
হুম।
আর রবীন্দ্রনাথের গান কিন্তু সাহিত্য, গানটাও কিন্তু সাহিত্য,
সত্যি, গানটাও সাহিত্য।
সাহিত্যের মধ্যে
হ্যাঁ সত্যি,
সুন্দর।
সত্যি এই আলোচনা তো মানে কোনো মানে রবি ঠাকুরের আলোচনা, রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীতের আলোচনা তো কোনো শেষ নেই। সেটা তো অনেকটা মানে অনেকক্ষণ ধরে চর্চা করলে ভালোই লাগে।
হুম।
কিন্তু তুমি তো নিশ্চয়ই জানো যে আমাদের মানে এই যে পুরো অনুষ্ঠানটা আছে তোমাকে দিয়ে আমরা শুরু করবো, এবার পরবর্তী অনুষ্ঠানে চলে
হুম।
যাব যেখানে
হুম।
আমরা আরো তিনজন শিল্পীকে পেয়েছি। তারা আগেন আমাদের খুবই কাছের দিদি। আহ তাদেরও কিছু কথা শুনে নেব, আর তাদেরও কিছু পারফরমেন্সেসও শুনবো, দেখবো। তো তুমি থেকো আমাদের সাথে, কিন্তু তার
হ্যাঁ।
আগে তোমাকে যেতে দেবো না অত সহজে, তোমাকে আরেকটা গান আমাদেরকে দিয়ে যেতে হবে।
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে, আমি তার আগে বলি, নৃত্য নৃত্য টেস্ট করার অনেক অনেক শুভেচ্ছা, তোমরা ভালোভাবে এগিয়ে যাও এইরকম নিষ্ঠার সাথে, এবং এরকম পিওর ক্লাসিক্যাল ফর্মটা যে তোমরা ধরে রেখেছো, সেটা আমি ভীষণ খুশি। মানে আমি নিজেও একটু বলতে পারো ওল্ড স্কুল, ওই যে
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ,
তোমরা যেটাকে
চেষ্টা
ভীষণ,
করব।
এবং তোমার এখন আমি শুনেছি, আমি খুব একটা কম্প্রোমাইজ করতে পারি না, চাইও না, এটাকে আমার ভীষণ ভালো লাগছে। একদম
বাহ।
প্রপার কস্টিউম পরে তোমরা যে, আমি দেখেছি বিভিন্ন
হুম
শো,
হুম।
খুব ভালো, এভাবে এগিয়ে যাও তুমি।
থ্যাংক
আমি
ইউ
এই
সো
গানটি
মাচ,
দিয়ে
থ্যাংক
আমার
ইউ সো মাচ।
বক্তৃতা শেষ করছি।
হ্যাঁ, চলো।
আরেকটি আনন্দেরই গান গাইছি বলতে পারো, উৎসবের গান, যেহেতু
নিশ্চয়,
আজকে পয়লা
নিশ্চয়,
বৈশাখের উৎসব নিয়ে।
চলো।
সব আলো এমন করে, আলো আমার মুখের উপরে, আপনি থাকো, তুমি আপনি থাকো আলোর পিছনে, এখন আলো জ্বালিয়ে উৎসবে জানি হৃদয় উৎসবে সব আলোর কেমন করে পড়ে তোমার মুখের পরে, সব আলোটা কেমন করে পড়ে তোমার মুখের পরে, আপনি পড়ে, আমি আপনি পড়ে আলোর পেছনে, এখন ধন্যবাদ আহিলি।
কি সুন্দর বিউটিফুল। মানে ভীষণ একটা সুন্দর গান বেছে নিলে তুমি তোমার এই জিনিস মানে তোমার সেকশনটা কনক্লুড করার জন্য। সত্যি
থ্যাংক ইউ।
থ্যাংক ইউ ঋতুশ্রী দি। আমরা এর পরবর্তী অনুষ্ঠানটাতে এগিয়ে যাচ্ছি।
হ্যাঁ,
তুমি থেকো আমাদের
একদম।
সাথে, আশা করি ভালো
হ্যাঁ,
লাগবে।
হ্যাঁ,
আর আমাদের
একদম
একটা
একদম
সুন্দর
ঠিক আছে।
সুন্দর দুটো গান দেওয়ার জন্য অজস্র অজস্র ধন্যবাদ। কিপ সাপোর্টিং অ্যান্ড কিপ এনকারেজিং।
I will definitely. Best
Thank you
wishes.
so much. Thank you. So, with this, we come to end to our first segment of our event. We will be moving on to the second leg, and I will be requesting my team member Priyanka to take over. Priyanka, over to you. Over to you. Take over the stage.
Dance is an art. It is an expression. And there are different ways and forms of expressing that. We have three dancers with us today at Poila Boithak who express their art through different dance forms: Kathak, Odissi, and Bharatnatyam. We have an array of questions from our Nritya Tale members, which we will be asking one by one to the panelists to take forward the discussion. তো পয়লা বৈঠকে একটু আড্ডা হয়ে যাক. And also, like, the viewers are most welcome to share their questions. We will take that up. So now let me take the pleasure to welcome and introduce all the three beautiful ladies one by one to the audience. Kathak is traditionally attributed to the traveling bards of ancient northern India known as Kathakars or storytellers. Sohini Debnath, a renowned Kathak practitioner based in Kolkata. She has been under the able guidance of renowned Kathak exponent Padma Shri Guru Srimati Rani Karna. Presently, she is the artistic director of Samskriti Shriyaskar, her guru's academy. A grade A solo artist with the Doordarshan Kendra, she has won numerous prestigious awards, including a gold medal. Sohini regularly tours different parts of Europe, Germany, France, Sweden, Denmark, and Switzerland for solo Kathak performances. She has also given performances in Lebanon, South Africa, Sudan, Bangladesh. She's a repertory member of Ranan, Kota, and performs regularly for production. She gives advanced Kathak classes and conducts workshops across the globe. She's also a faculty of Shikshak Online, Music and Dance School, and Clark Online Academy based UK and Singapore, respectively. Moving on to the next. Odissi, referred to as Orisi in older literature, is a major ancient Indian classical dance that originated in Hindu temples of Orissa. Dr. Kaustavi Sarkar. She is a student of Guru Poshali Mukherjee, Ratikant Mohapatra, and Sujata Mohapatra. She is a professor in dance at UNC Charlotte and runs a professional development opportunity for Indian classical dance educators. She received the prestigious National Endowment for the Arts grant for bringing Odissi into mainstream art context. A Doordarshan graded, ICCR empaneled, and national scholarship holder, Sarkar has created a substantial work in scholarship, performance, and education. She teaches inside and outside academia and maintains dual career in performance and teaching. Her monograph, Dance, Technology, Social Justice, focuses on Odisse's journey as a technical justice. Her second book, Shaping S-Curves, focuses on female choreography in the field of Odissi. And finally, Bharatnatyam, originated in Tamil Nadu, is one of the oldest classical dance traditions in India. It has been nurtured in the temples and courts of southern India since the ancient era. Madhavi Rawal Saraf. She started Bharatnatyam under the able guidance of Guru Dr. Swati Daithankar. She has given many performances all over India. She has won second prize in a national competition conducted by All India Postal Cultural Committee. She has completed Nritya Visarad and Nritya Alankar from Akhil Bharatiya Gandharva Mahavidyalaya Mandal under the guidance of her guru. She was working as the principal of Academy of Fine and Performance at Ahmednagar. She has also learned Odissi under the guidance of Guru Mrs. Anuradha Gandhi. She created a Facebook page, namely Kalashrey Manch, for promoting classical dance and music. The founder and director of Nritya Madhurya Academy of Indian Classical Dance, and currently providing online guidance to basic to advanced level. So we are really honored that all of you are here and you took time to be a part of this initiative that Nritya Tales took. However, I would like to know from all of you that how are you feeling to be a part of Nritya Tales Poila Boishokher Poila Boithak? How are you all feeling? So, I mean, to start with Sohini Di, then Kaustavi Di, then Madhavi Ji.
I think we all are very excited that we are able to meet, talk, have an adda, so called. Even though it is digital, it feels great to be part of this discussion. Whether I would call it an informal, really adda in Bengali, what we
Absolutely.
call, and I don't and. Nritya Tales, I must congratulate Nritya Tales for this beautiful endeavor, and I wish you all the best because this is your first live performance, live, I think, from YouTube and Facebook,
Yeah.
and I think you will do many more. So, to all the members of Nritya Tales, may you find the right way and the right path, and may you go on. And I welcome the other two artists also. We hope to have and looking forward to a very nice.
Thank you so much.
Hello.
Thank you, Shoinidhi. Course. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Shubho Noboborsho. So nice to meet you, Sohini, Madhavi. Thank you, Nritya Tales. খুব মজা লাগছে আমার বাংলায় কথা বলছি বাংলায় কথা বলার সুযোগ পাই না আমরা but perhaps I should not, right, because Madhavi is well versed in Bengali. Okay, so maybe not.
Yes.
Yeah, again, thank you. Just topping up with what Sohini mentioned, this is such a nice USP that you have, the Adda framework. And Poila Boithak, as even Ritasree mentioned, was such a beautiful name and very fun and catchy name. I'm excited and very interested and happy to support Nritya Tales. You know, your way of bringing access to a democratic sort of mindset, right? You're really thinking through the various ways Nritya dance can weave in our everyday psyche, weave in our everyday mindset. You have your holy stuff, you have your dance stuff. So I was following your Facebook page. It's really interesting work. Keep doing it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot. Madhavi ji.
Yeah, hello, namaste to all. Can you hear me? Hello, Sohini ji and Kaustavi ji. I'm
Yes,
really
yes,
very
absolutely audible.
glad. I'm really very glad to be part of this. And as I have seen some of your videos, I can see that all of you are doing it, means doing the other career, and you are following your passion. So it is really nice to see that you are following your passion after so many responsibilities and other career also. So and I'm really very excited because performance we all always do, but this kind of discussion I have never done before. So I would be really glad to be part of it. Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you so much. So, taking up from what Madhavi said, that we are, like trying to balance between Nritya Tales and the career which we have. So, since you all know that Nritya Tales is about, we are trying to press back our rhythms. We are not professional dancers. We are dancers by passion. And we are indeed struggling to, like get back to dance, to balance this out with our everyday work. We are sharing our everyday insights and dance form and origin thoughts, the ideas, the techniques, and everything. So yes, so I think the first question I would like to just ask, which is based on the ideology of Nritya Tales. So I'll just like read out the question, and as I said, like anybody from the panelists can take up the question and add on. So there's no specific sequence that somebody will have to start. So I'll just ask, uh, if someone wants to get back to dance after years of being away, more so if their profession is in a different field, how can they keep up their passion for dance?
I can take that question, Priyanka.
So
And
yes, I
please
mean,
feel free to
Of course.
yeah, please.
please feel free to interrupt and interject at any time, Madhavi and Shohini. The beautiful thing about our form is we do have a wide range of bodies and body types and ages, right? So you can start at 5, but you can go until 90. That is not true for many other forms. That is not true. At 90, you are definitely not doing 36 chakkars, but at the same time, you are immersing the audience in bhava that a 20-year-old can never even imagine. So, the wide range of our uh, techniques, right, um, is very, very powerful, and it empowers multiple ranges. And as you also mentioned, Priyanka, Nritya Tales, you are thinking about how dance can enrich a quality of life. Sure, it can be a profession, sure, it can be a career, but it can also enrich our day-to-day lives, right? And that is a valid desire, a valid aspiration. Having said that, there is no easy way out. You can't just quick 2-minute noodles and become a dancer after years of not being a dancer, sure. But at the same time, there is breaks. Human bodies go through changes. There's injury, there's pregnancy, there's so many things, and it's always incumbent upon the dancer to definitely bring your mind, body, soul centering to get back to it. You cannot just jump into it. You have to have the preparation. Like for this program, I wore a sari and put some makeup. There is some preparation. So similarly to prepare your body, but at the same time, it's a really long profession and long career, and there is beauty in that various ways. Like I sometimes want to watch the varying body types and varying ages in our field. It's not unidimensional, like if I may say, ballet, right? Like it's very unidimensional, where it has to have a certain body type and a certain age range in order to do splits and jumps. And while our artists also do splits and jumps, right? We do have, Odissi artist Rahul Acharya, who's an extremely agile body. But then we also have beautiful artists like Devi Basu, who, with subtle, nuanced expressions, present such beauty, such richness. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I would just, I was thinking when you were saying these things, these points, so rightly pointed out. And I think two, three things one should take note of when we think of coming back. Coming back, we are saying coming back because we were not in touch for some time. And giving, so if we don't give enough respect to that subject, whatever that subject may be, whether it is dance, music, or a language that you had learned once, or a subject that you had once learned and you want to revisit, you have to spend time with it. And before doing it, I think, why do you want to do, how do you want to do it, and what would you, which are the ways, these two three things, you can have a basic clarity of these things in your head, that okay, maybe I want to do this at the age of 40, I want to come back to dance, maybe to do this for my own, enlightenment. For, so there should be a little clarity in thoughts in your mind and body when you are also thinking to come back. I don't know if that.
Absolutely, I
Actually,
agree,
according to
Shohini. Sorry,
actually, I
Madhavi, please
think
go.
that
No,
if
absolutely. The direction is
someone
very important. Like we need to have a clear direction. Yeah, Madhavi ji. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, if we once we enter in the world of this dance,
Yeah.
whether it is in childhood or it is in late age, what happens is we can never leave it behind. It is never left behind. Actually, it is in our head continuously. Means, even if we can't practice, it is never left behind. It is just reconnecting. Actually, not going back. It is just reconnecting with our passion. So for it, after that, obviously, physical strength will not be the same. So we have to start again from the basics, so that our physical strength will be same after, as he said that after pregnancy there are many changes, so that also we have to cope up of that practice. And also one important thing is, nowadays internet is playing a vital role, so we can just reconnect with our guru, take their guidance also if required, or we can follow our passions online, whether we are means now I'm in London, my guru is in Pune, but still I can learn from her, I can take some knowledge, or I can take some advices. So that is also important thing. While reconnecting, you can always do use of it.
Absolutely. So I think it is firstly the wish, then the direction, that why am I back to it, and respect towards the art. So few things like to conclude from whatever three, I mean, like whatever the discussion was. So absolutely, I mean, that's wonderful. So I think like we'll move on to the next question, so that like we can take the discussion forward. Over to you, Shreyoshi.
Sorry, I was on mute. Hello, I'm Shreyoshi. I will be taking up the next segment. Before that, before moving on to the next question, we are very thankful to all the panelists for sending little bits and pieces of their students' performances with us, which we have decided that we will be showing during the program itself. So I will be just showing a little bit of Kaustavi's and her students' dance right now, and then in the next segment again we'll show the other ones. Okay. Let's watch that first and come back. Thank you, Kaustavi, for sharing that with us. It was a big piece. I was mesmerized when I was watching that entire piece, but unfortunately, we will obviously run short of time if we post the entire thing over here. It was beautiful. Now let's get back to our discussion. We definitely have a couple of questions. The first one I will ask. Are there any specific factors required for a person to understand and appreciate Indian classical dance? So, if a layman simply treats it as an aesthetic experience, how much will they appreciate or enjoy the dance program? This was one of the questions from one of our Nritya Tales members.
You don't ask easy questions.
This is a very subjective question. I mean, there is no formula, and I think the beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. It's a very I would say celebrated sentence that we keep saying, but I think it puts a full stop on all other aspects. Kind of it stops discussion when we say that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, so then it's full stop. But to me, what I feel after years of training and also performing in our country and in other countries also, I feel to some extent the family and the growing up, the ambience, the environment where we are growing up with an open mind. So I think first of all, it is important to, if we are talking of dance, if we narrow it down to dance, dance is not just movements. Living in Kolkata, I think all of you will agree that dressing up pretty, looking beautiful, being on stage and moving. For our parents, when we were kids, this was dance. And I think our students, when they are kids, their parents are happy because they want their kids to be on stage. But when you're talking of adults taking it up, even not as a career or as a passion, you have to take it a bit seriously. And when you're talking of audience, I think all the students who are learning dance music from childhood, they are this Bengal is very famous for it. I think we have institutes and we have this culture of learning music and dance, at least having a training till we are 14, 15, and after that there are dropouts. But this basic training of some classical dance, some classical music makes you a better audience later. I don't expect all the students to become a dancer with that expectation, or I won't have the mindset, but I have the mind to make them a little more aware audience, a little more understanding, a little more respectful towards all other art forms. If I'm able to bring that sense in their mind, their parents' mind, their close family members' mind, to treat the forms as not just pretty movements, or the music not as just a singer, not as just, uh, so take the subject as seriously as physics and chemistry and maths. It is a subject that needs to be studied. It is a subject that, this little things that if we are able to instill in them, I think that makes a difference. So family, greater family, relatives, friends, families, this is how we can.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, Shoini, you touched so many important points in terms of creating resikas, right? Creating Saridayas, artists, aesthetically minded viewership. And it doesn't come easy. There are so many layers to the dances that we do, right? It is indeed a very culturally embedded form and with infinite meaning making. And I'm quoting Mandakini Trivedi here. Recently, I attended her talk, and she was just saying that, you can take the surface level of beauty, you can go a little deeper and take the surface level of, the meaning of the context or the cultural or the folkloric or the mythological or the religious or the spiritual, and then you can even go deeper to find your own sort of, whatever one might call it, union, moksha, whatever, nirvana. So many levels, and again, I like the word formulaic, and not formulaic. It's really not formulaic, and so beautifully filigreed, right? You have the jewelry, the filigree work is so, the ornamentation, the alankar is rich and so deep that you can really navigate your own meaning in that. You can just consume it as aesthetic beauty or find deeper meaning and deeper soulful connection. Yeah. Um, but I think specific factors required for a person to understand and appreciate Indian classical dance. Definitely, it helps to have a cultural foot, either through identity as Indians. We have um, the common knowledge, right? The common knowledge is not true for others who don't belong in that identity. Madhavi, you are working in London, so the common knowledge you understand, right? Like you don't work with that common knowledge, so it's harder for you. Everything you have to explain doubly. Um, but also thinking of a layman. I mean, I have a problem with that term, layman, honestly. Shreyoshi, every viewer is sharp. We can't be elitist and snooty as artists and think that, oh, you don't understand.
Right.
um, Viewers are sharp. Yeah. I'll stop there.
Absolutely. Madhviji, do you have anything to add on to that?
I only think that if means they have some knowledge, or some means like in Kathakali, if we know that the Aharya Abhinaya is the different colors denote different characters. So if a person knows even little bit about that, they can certainly understand it more and enjoy it more. And also, if we have little bit knowledge of rasas, then also it will be more means rasopatti that we call. So it will be more obviously the uh, if they understand it, if they have the knowledge, they will understand it more. What the
Right,
dancer
right.
wants to express, and also as different regions are there. As for example, in Maharashtra, if we do Bharatnatyam, proper Bharatnatyam, the Tamil language is not understood by many people. So if we explain what we are going to perform, what is the theme, so then also they can understand it more and they can just enjoy it more. I think.
Right. Right. So, what I understand from this discussion is that it definitely depends on the mindset of the viewer, whether he or she actually wants to enjoy the performance. And I'll just add a little bit about my thoughts on this question as well. That I feel uh, some responsibility also lies on the artist, because I have myself attended so many dance performances where I did not know anything about the dance form, but I absolutely remember the expressions, the way they set the mood on the stage, the artists themselves, that I was mesmerized with that performance. And I'm talking about Bharatnatyam myself. I don't know the language. I just know their attire, and I know their absolutely intricate use of mudras and expressions. So that was like, for me, I was a viewer there, and that was actually enriching for me. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on this. Let's move on to the next question that our members had, that was there any other art form that you always wanted to learn along with dance? Do you think, like, how would it have, or do you think it does help to enrich your dance?
I'm a secret admirer of Mohiniyattam.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Mohiniyattam. The white and golden just kills me. But I don't know. Another life, perhaps.
True, so true. Endless desires. I wish I could
Endless
take.
desires.
Yes, I wish I could do the lights on stage. I wish I could do the stage setup. I wish I could, do, in-depth study in painting, in one of the instruments, sometimes vocals. So endless. I don't feel that, desire is, you can't tame it. every
Absolutely.
time every time I see something, I feel I wish I had known a bit more, even in my own subject, so much more to learn. So this is endless.
Right. Madhviji, anything from your end?
Yeah, actually, dance, as we know, is Sarva Samavesha, that is all inclusive art. So it has culture, music, um painting. We just paint with our body. The canvas is the atmosphere and environment. So it is actually all things are included. If we have knowledge of some other art, like if we know the painting art or music, obviously it will enrich our art more, our own art, dance. Because I actually wanted to learn music and instruments like veena or violin. But music I started, but that was very small age and I just left it. But actually, I wish if I can do, I will do. Carnatic music, it will support my art form. That we will, we
Definitely.
can just understand the things more in depth, like different ragas, how the items are set to ragas.
I'll just add the combined questions one and two, perhaps, going back, returning back. So, uh, and paying respect, as Shohini you mentioned, and connecting with the guru, as Madhavi you mentioned. So I have a secret desire also to connect with my mother who has moved on, and she was a beautiful singer. So I feel that Sangeet is my way of connection. But I'll take 10 years at least. So at in 2041, ask me that question.
All the best.
2041 or 31, sorry.
2031, yes. I will remember to ask you
30.
that question in
Please,
2031.
Shreyoshi, 2031, did I keep my promise of doing daily riyaz in music?
Right, right. Yeah, I actually know of a 50-year-old woman who has recently started taking sitar lessons. She's a singer herself, and she used to always want to play the sitar, and she has just started. I mean, of course, I think these
I
art
might as
forms,
well die trying.
of
Yes,
course,
so
of course.
Priyanka knows. I started off with Odissi too at the same, but then
Right.
I thought, I mean, it is not possible in a single life to, not possible for me. My guru was a very well known, of course, Odissi dancer too, and she did perform Guru Rani Karnaji in the first half Kathak, first half Odissi, second half Kathak, and she did that for quite some time in her, in the peak of her career. And she learned Odissi after her marriage, for that matter. By that time she had already excelled in Kathak, of course, and she was performing. After that, she took up learning. She learned the form and she performed. And later again, while teaching, she again came back. She came back to Kathak,
Right.
and she said, when you take the responsibility of teaching, it becomes so wide.
We actually have a very pertinent question about teaching and about transforming yourself into gurus, which is coming up. Ishita will be taking up that. Before that, can we have a little snippet of Madhaviji's and her students' dance? And while that, I will take your leave and I will move on the baton to Ishita to take over the next segment.
That was a lovely performance by Madhvi and her students. Thank you for sharing that with us. It was amazing. Obviously, like the other video, we could not make it for the entire length, but it was a lovely performance. And can you hear me now?
I think from behind.
We can hear you, but the connection is a little scruffy.
Yeah, and some others from this one.
Okay, I'll try my best. Yeah, so Madhvi, thank you for sharing that, and it was a great performance. Sorry, we could not play the entire length in the interest of time. So let's move on to the next question. The same note at which probably Sriyoshi left us all about teaching. So this says that when you started teaching dance, it was a transformation from a dancer to a guru. So, how did you see yourself? Did you see yourself as a culmination of amalgamation of all the learnings that you have had from your gurus as a dancer? Or did you want to put your own style, imbibe your own style into your students who were a new set of people who were not trained from the same Guruji as yours earlier? So, how was the feeling? How did you take up this whole new journey?
I don't use that term at all. I take that term very, very seriously, and it is for my gurus. um, I feel I teach, yes, I teach, and it is important to teach well. So I take teaching responsibly and accountably with a lot of accountability. But at the same time, I feel this easy access to the word just with 16, 17, 20 years of training is dangerous because it does not 16, 17, 18, 20 years of dance training does not automatically give you the knowledge to exercise power authority over another person's psyche, right? A student's psyche. In such an integral way, because it's every person is different, and it's you have only access to vocational bodily training, physical training. Have you delved into the literature, like Madhavi you mentioned, it's such an interdisciplinary form. There's literature, sculpture, music. You also mentioned Shoini, right? There's lighting. There's just so much, right? And then definitely there's the vastness of the spiritual framework. So Guru comes from that term. And when I think of it, Guru Kelucharan Mahapatra, Guru Paushali Mukherjee, these are names, they bring their experience to the table. They do bring their experience to the table. So I'm very weary. Not that I'm asking anybody else to do anything, but I definitely want to steer away from that term until I'm wise enough, right? So it's definitely the easy access to the term. I see it as a problem, a little bit of a problem in the field. Every field has problems, and so does mine, my personal field that we all love and are invested within. But at the same time, as like your second question is, do I imbibe a specific style? So I'm very curious to see the translation across formal education and vocational education, either in K-12, like school contexts, or higher education or academia, undergraduate, graduate, master's, PhD. So I really think through the integration, and every artist has a different responsibility. That is just my own path, that I feel comfortable with, or rather interested to explore within. So I want to think through the arts integration, how students can learn math through Odissi and Odissi through math. Like, that's interesting to me. And also vice versa, like over across higher degrees and stuff as well. Yeah, I'll stop there. Thank you.
If we can have Madhavi ji say something on that line.
Actually, as Kaustavi mentioned, the guru is very big term. Actually, we are just teachers. I feel that I'm a teacher, but as we have learned from our guru, and even if I teach 10 students, everyone will do it differently according to their nature, their psychology, how they perceive the dance. So everyone has their own unique style. Even if they are doing Bharatnatyam or Odissi or Kathak, any dance style, they have their own style. And what else they are doing? If they are learning music, as we discussed previously, if they are doing painting, their dance will change. If they are doing Bollywood dance or semi-classical dance, their dance will change. So the style, actually, we can't we can't give any specific style as my style I will give to my students. It is not so. We try to teach them genuinely what we learn from our gurus. So and what they take and how they take it is on means it depends on them. But yeah, if they follow certain particular guru or performer, I never say don't follow them. If they standard gurus they follow or performers they follow, they can just try to do their style. I never say that don't do that style. So it is like
Yeah.
Right. Very, very beautifully said. So, if we can have your take on that.
Yeah, I will, since they covered this part, I will just talk about, again, I would repeat talking about the term guru. It's guru will not teach you a dance form or a music. Guru will teach you a way of life. So through dance, through music, through some, and so Kaustavi very nicely pointed out that it is a problem, and with it is a problem because anyone who, on the one hand, we have the term Guru Shishya Parampara. So everyone is so attached to this term, and we feel so one with this, that we follow the Guru Shishya Parampara. It's not easy. It has remained the crux we have lost, I think. you lost it. But it's okay. I'm not negative about it. But I'm just saying that being a guru, becoming a guru is a very organic process. You cannot start teaching and become a guru. You can
Very
become
well
a
said.
so you, because very rightly both of I think both Kaustavi and Madhavi pointed out that you are teaching. How do we start teaching? We start teaching. My guru gave me the responsibility to conduct a class. Just conduct a class and let me see how you do it. I won't be there. So so I was being trained as a teacher unknowingly by my guru, and quite nicely. I remember when I started conducting classes independently. I used to call her at night and she used to take a report, kind of very informal, but what did you do with the students? And what I liked is she always kept harping on the point that you should have your own ways of, you know, communicating with the students. So here lies the answer to the next question, where you say, were you a culmination of the teachings of your gurus? Of course, it is organic. It will. I am that product of all the gurus, and not only if I'm learning teaching Kathak. I have not only imbibed that. I have imbibed so many other things from my school teachers, from other teachers, from friends, from colleagues, from juniors, which is helping me to grow as a person, which in turn reflects in my character as a teacher. And maybe so, this happens, this keeps happening. And as both of them said, that it is a very big responsibility. Once you start teaching, I think your performance, your responsibility as a performer becomes 3 times, 4 times, because you are idealized, you are looked up, you are questioned, and it is very important. I'm fortunate that I got that opportunity, and I enjoy every bit of my being a teacher, and I learn every day, every moment. I learn, and I mean, so much more to learn. My students teach that to me. I'm so grateful.
Yes, I think this is a institution in itself, like the Guru Shishya Parampara that you were speaking about. It is not only always that we get to learn from our teachers of the performing arts, but yes, it is over the different people that we meet across in our daily lives. And yes, I think everyone probably has their own style. We probably take up what we do best for ourselves and we try to pass on those learnings. And again, probably in the next generation, we would have a different set of people who would pick up few things from us and they would improvise it on their own way. So yeah, I mean, very beautifully put together. Thank you. So I think we have one more question, and let's move on to that. So this is again something related to the very common thing that we see nowadays. It is on the reality shows that we see. We have quite a few of them coming these days. So what do you think? Does the actual essence of classical dance, does it get diluted, or how do you think that the mixing of two genres, how do you perceive that?
You don't ask easy questions, and these are such vast questions.
Yes.
So Ishita, right? Ishita. Um,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I, I, I mean, I'm formulating my thoughts. Panelists, please
Yes.
interject and interrupt.
Yes, yes.
um, but I would say that, the mm, reality show caters to a neoliberal aesthetic, and I'm not trying to show off big words, but neoliberalism is the way that we live our lives today. Neoliberalism is an ideology where the idea is bootstraps. You are responsible for your own life. your own lifestyle. You work hard and automatically you get paid, or automatically you become successful. So that's the ideology that neoliberalism advocates, and reality television, commercial television shows that, right? It dramatizes the
Yeah.
lives, it dramatizes the performances, it dramatizes nuances, it dramatizes subtlety, and it takes away the essence, right? It totally does. It really takes away and breaks away and totally, like, just, the 3 minute. I recently saw an Odissi performance on this new song. It's called Beat Pay. So I don't even want to say that. I mean, because I don't want to say that, because, right, like, because it hurts my sensibility. I'll stop there.
Yeah, it is a very, as I said, it is so relative, and we somehow, somewhere, it is going to um, not be fair to say that I'm very happy with what is happening, uh, because we've had a formal training. Because when you call it a mixture, I have, the word says it all. When you call it if you call it a true fusion, when you are doing a fusion, you have to know the two things equally. If I am doing a fusion with whatever music, dance, I have to know the two forms equally enough, good enough to be able to, and not only know, I have to be able to perceive and take it to the other level, to be able to fuse it. I have to earn it. I have to learn enough, read enough. So what is happening is just a mixture of so it is just as Kaustavi said, that it is a 3 minutes. It is just like someone has taught me one paragraph of German language, German essay. I do not know the meaning, and I have just ratified. My guru used to use this, so I've just mugged up this particular paragraph without knowing the meaning, but I have learned the pronunciation well, and I can recite it, read it in front of you. Would you call me? Uh, would you? I mean, acknowledge? Would I acknowledge and say that yes, I know German language? I think so. It is something like that. I would also like to stop at that.
If you want to say something on that.
No.
Okay, so yeah,
I mean,
I
the
think
only other thing I would just add that, I did see one of my friends, Dr. Aparupa Chatterjee. She has a company called Odissi Dance Company, and she took her company to America's Got Talent. Okay. And it is doing something there, right? And her company was beautifully dressed Odissi dancers, right? But beautifully dressed Kathak or Odissi or Bharatnatyam dancers will never get that sort of value in the Indian reality television, right? There is that exotic cultural, different cultural respect, all of that's going on. So I think tastefully, strategically good, like, well done commercial exploitation of the form, or rather commercial dissemination of the form, is good, but it has to be well done. It has to be well done and well placed. Yeah.
It has to be with a little bit of understanding.
knowledge probably. So
Yes, at least a basic.
like probably we just take up bits and pieces, and maybe like when we see such things, maybe it's not always a very in-depth research for the performer. I don't say about the person who is choreographing for them, but yes, I think this is a very common thought that we all keep, you know, it it keeps coming to our mind. Thank you for your very insightful knowledge on these topics. It has been really great. With that, let's move on to another performance, next performance. So we have Sohini and her students putting up a small video for us. Shreyoshi, if you would play that.
ওয়াও, সিম্পলি ওয়াও। মানে আমি নিজেই বসে গেছি একটা বৈঠকি অ্যারেঞ্জমেন্টে কথাগুলো শুনতে শুনতে। And I'm again very sorry for bringing in Bengali. Actually, Madhavi ji actually meant that listening to the entire discussion, I myself transformed into a Baithaki evening. And firstly, I was thinking that why did it end? I mean, there is so much to say, so much to speak, so much to learn, understand. We started with Ritasree. While talking to her, I mean, so many questions came up. I wanted to know more about how Rabindrasangeet is perceived across the world when she's performing. While Kaustavi is speaking, I felt like asking, what is your experience when you take your classical art form to the people who don't understand? When Madhavi is speaking about her challenges in London, and Sohini is speaking about the journey of guru and not calling herself as a guru and not being and strikingly that as parents, sorry, I mean our parents wanted us to be on stage and perform, and at a certain time we lose out on the art, but this art gives us something, and all of us who has been fortunate enough to touch it in the form of, I have been trained as a vocalist, and Indian classical vocal music I was trained under. So we left all this in the walk of life, and I understand today that whoever has touched this art and whoever has understood the mystic realm of Indian classical art form that includes painting, dance, music, it is something, what to say? I mean, that includes all kind of music. I mean, I'm not letting go Tagore or other creators, please. I mean, it gives us a character, a personality. It makes you different. And how different, I don't know. I mean, it's an endless journey. So firstly, thank you for your time. Thank all of you. I also want to thank our team because when we just started, let's do a live show. And when we just said, let's do a live show, that let's do transform into months of planning and calling and texting, and you do this, do that, and fights and not fights. And, we know what goes behind. So I want to thank
the entire team.
Yeah. So, and thank our team for, collating all of this. And Shreyoshi came up with the idea of doing StreamYard and how we can put it up on a professional platform and things like that. So that's a great job. And Priyanka, thank you for, leading the second half and introducing all
Coming up
the
with the name.
members.
Priyanka for coming up with the name.
No, I was wanted to end it. I wanted to end with that you are. I wanted to come to Ishita and wanted to end with that. So anyway, yeah, the name that has been appreciated so much. It came from Priyanka. She said, "Let's do this." Yeah. So she's been doing things like this, interesting ideas putting up, and yeah, planning. And Ishita, thanks for all the support and back end, doing this, doing that, calling her, not calling this, reading all the 100 SMSs in the WhatsApp, and jotting this in a structured manner. And thank you for the information, Kaustavi Di, Sohini Di, and Madhavi ji. I mean, wow, beautiful.
If I might raise my hand and say one thing more, on your name, all of you Nritya Tales, thank you, panelists. Really enjoyed my time learning from you, Shohini, Madhavi, Ritasree, your beautiful singing. In terms of the name, I really like the marriage of regional and sort of this pan-Indian Sanskritic aesthetics, right? So Baithak is a typical Sanskritized term, whereas Poila is a regional Bengali term. And the marriage is what is necessary. Sometimes classical and non-classical, there is an unnecessary hierarchy. There is a
True.
lot of depth in regional language and art. And as Ritashree sort of mentioned, the
The folks,
importance of
yes.
the folk, the importance of literature, literariness in the Tagore songs, right? So the marriage is just beautiful.
Right. Can I
Even
add a
Nritya
couple
Tales
of
is a
points?
beautiful name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, please,
Please
please
go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
So I
Please.
just said that even Nritya Tales is a very beautiful name in itself.
That also, by the way, came from Priyanka. That also
Yes.
came from her.
So,
Yeah.
Priyanka, you can start charging for giving names. You know, we are advertising you so well here.
I
Yes,
was
yes,
just
go ahead.
thinking.
So I
She's
would
loving her
like
life.
to add a few pointers here. First of all, yes, on the name, definitely. Thank you so much, Priyanka, for coming up, and thank you the entire team for seeing through the execution of this program so well. We are actually right on time, and we had anticipated that it will take around 1 hour 15 minutes, and we are actually at 1 hour 20 minutes. So I think we are
Lovely.
absolutely on time. About the name Poila Boithak, thank you, Kaustavi, for mentioning this. I was actually feeling it that, Baithak is a term which even Madhvi would understand. So when she saw the flyer, the first thing she said that it's written in Bengali. Can you please let me know what the meaning is? So I just had to tell her what the meaning of Poila is. Baithak, she could understand herself. So yeah, so that she could definitely understand the essence of this program as soon as I mentioned Baithak. So that was one. The second, I would definitely want to thank all the Nritya Tales members, because honestly, all these questions that we asked you, we received at least 30 questions, from which we had to narrow down to 5 questions, and it was a humongous task for us. So thank you, Nritya Tales members, for
Yeah.
being with us, for dancing with us, for believing in the essence of Nritya Tales, and coming up with such difficult questions, as Kaustavi and Sohini also mentioned, that you don't ask difficult questions. Those were not ours. Those were actually from the members. And last but not the least, we have been getting constant viewership on our first ever live program, and it is not easy. It
Not
is
easy. We are really
definitely
impressed.
Congratulations.
world on a Sunday morning, afternoon, evening, for wherever we are sitting.
True, true.
We have been getting constant viewership.
It is
So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you, all the viewers, for
Very
supporting us.
encouraging.
Very encouraging. It actually just gives us that motivation that we should continue, we should move on.
Yes, this just gives you the message
Yeah.
that you should go on. And yes,
Yes, Ritoshid.
I would like to mention one thing, that the logo of Nritya Tales is also very beautiful, very aesthetic, very stylish.
Okay, so the credit for that actually goes, because we are talking on live on air for the first time. We would definitely want to give a big round of
Yes.
applause for Smaranika, who has been our creative designer right
Okay.
from the beginning.
So,
She
do I
was
call her? She might be
Right
here.
Yeah,
from the
you can
beginning.
please call her. See, she is
Wait,
actually
wait,
our
I'll just call her.
teammate.
Just give me a minute.
Yeah. So she has been working in constant tandem with Priyanka and Ahili, with coming up with such amazing creatives. So even the background that we have used today for the flyer, as well as for the program today, all of these actually come from our. We are amazingly. We are very proud of our creative team. At least I am. I can definitely see that for myself. Smarnika,
Hi, Shanonika.
you've been receiving raving reviews about your
beautiful work.
Special round of applause. You need special round of applause from all of us.
Thank you so much for appreciating these little details. We have been definitely trying our best to bring our best to the audience. So it's really humbling that we've been able to just reach out to you guys through our little endeavors. Ishita, please.
As I said, Anili, it's really commendable. Your commitment, your sense of aesthetic, your dedication is really commendable. It's a team effort. It's a great team. I wish all you the best for days to come.
It's difficult to get Smarnika online as well. So that's another milestone you have achieved.
That's another achievement, yes.
Thank you,
Ishita wanted to add something.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that we were trying to motivate all these dancers across the world. We are Nritya members or others who are still, viewing us and giving us support. So I think this chat, this Boithak, was mainly to arouse them more to think that even if I've left my dance, there is still a faint chance of coming back. So I'm sure all three of you and Ritasree, you also. So this was a very enriching experience. It always feels good to speak out loud and say all these things. Probably there would be another person who just gets motivated seeing this. So that's the only hope, the only the thing we wanted to achieve through this show. So I am sure we are definitely going back with a huge, enormous experience, a mind-blowing experience.
I would just like to add from behalf of all the artists today here, I think we all will be there for Nritya Tales for any suggestion later or any discussion. I think it will be a pleasure for all of us to be there for any other, members. If you have questions you think needs to be addressed and answered, which is important enough, I think it will be nice if we could have it later.
Wow, great.
Thank you so much for offering that, Sohini. And definitely, we would want the association of all of you with Nritya Tales for a long time to come. With this note, I would like to just mention one last point before we end the show. That is, if you are watching the show and if you want to come back to dance, please do contact Nritya Tales. We'll be more than happy to provide a support and provide the platform. You would have seen our videos. If not, please go back to our YouTube channel and watch our videos. If you want, please do contact us. We would be more than happy to welcome you on board with us. Thank you so much, everyone.
We hope to see more videos from Nritya Tales.
Definitely. That's a promise we make from Nritya Tales, that we will come up with more and more videos. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We will end the show now. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.
Shubho Noboborsho.
Thank you.
Shubho Noboborsho.
Shubho Noboborsho.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you to all.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.